All right, how we doing, folks? It's Tuesday. We're here at Prime Sports. We're live. Podcast. American Legion Baseball, Centennial, and we've got a celebration, Centennial, 100 years. We're going to be leaving actually tomorrow, heading to Sedalia for the state championships. We're going to get into that here in a minute. We'll preview that a little bit. But first, we're, again, Prime Sports, we're out here. Last week, this place was packed crazy with bananas. And I mean, I'm not just saying, that it was real bananas. You can see the picture. I was sitting next to real bananas. And then there was some Savannah bananas. And then there was a lot of people here to see the Savannah bananas, and it was a lot of fun. But right here on Mexico Road, 7505, right? Yeah, 7505. Mexico Road is where Prime Sports is located here in St. Peter's. Got banana merchandise right there. What is that? Dirty Mids, right? Something like that. Whatever that is. So they got all kinds of merchandise in here. Baseball pants hanging on the wall over there. Gloves back there. Bats. We were just in the demo cage, and I was showing my skills as an old guy. I got the ball out of the infield, which I'm very pleased with. I swung, what did I swing? Tucci first. It was a USSSA one. And then I like the DeMarini, the one-piece. I still like the one-piece bats, and then I swung the Cat X. Lauren videoed it all, so she'll embarrass me later on social media. And we'll put that out and show you how not to swing a baseball bat. I think. Mitch will be proud, right? Yeah, we'll make Mitch proud, right? Yeah. We ought to get him. Oh, he won't get in there and swing, though. That's the problem. So if you see me sweating, that's why I'm sweating. Just got out of the cage, doing some demo stuff. But, folks, we're going to be heading, as I said, to Sedalia for the state championships. There are 6 teams going to be in the state championships. 2 from Zone 1, 2 from Zone 2, and 2 from Zone 4. From Zone 1, I got a chance to go over Saturday and watch some of that baseball. Moberly Sixers are in that they lost in the zone championship game. It's the final 2 that get in, but they lost to Jeff City post 5, and they're called the Fivers. So you have the Sixers and the Fivers from Zone 1. They lost in the championship zone, the Zone 1 championship, 3-2. It was a really good baseball game, so I'm sure both these teams are going to put it up. Jeff City, led by Gavin Williams, the Class 1 Missouri High School Baseball Coaches Association Player of the Year. Saw him pitch on Saturday, looked really good. Young man out of St. Elizabeth. Jeff City's got a lot of talent on that team, so I'm looking forward to that. Moberly, led by Jackson Engel. Again, he pitched in that game against Ellsbury. It was an elimination game. Ellsbury had a hard road to climb there, but what a pitching matchup. Brady Creech, I'll spit it out in a minute, went 7, and Jackson finished it off. He went 7. It was a 1-0 ball game. Both those guys pitched very well. We'll see how that pans out. Then in Zone 2, you had the Mule Club, Post 131, the new one coming out here. That's going to be interesting to see how 131 does. They got some young kids. What was interesting, though, when I got to looking at Moberly's actual roster, they have freshmen, sophomore, juniors. They have some 28s, 27s, and 26s. So they got sophomores up through juniors on that team, going to be seniors, but that's a very young team. So I think Moberly is going to be fine for the next few years. Mule Club, the same way. They've got a lot of young kids on that squad. That's going to be interesting. Sedalia, the Travelers, post 340 or 642, will also be there out of Zone 2, which I think is going to be very good. I like that. It's going to be real interesting. Oh, look at this. Who we got here? Just in time, Rick. Yeah. Come over and have a seat, man.
I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, we're going to talk some we're talking baseball already, actually. We're live.
Well, good.
So I put him right on the spot. This is Rick Reno, folks. Rick runs the St. Peter's Post 313. Your boys showed very well. Here,
Yeah,
grab that
they
mic.
Did.
Talk
They did well, probably at all three levels again. But the seniors did really well, and the last week or so they were really picking it up and stuff. So.
Absolutely. That game against Jeff City. Jeff City's talented, but I thought your guys played a heck of a good game. I really like Andy Cook.
Yep, he's a really good guy.
I like what he's doing with that.
Mm-hmm.
You got some folks in your program. Talk to us about where you're at and what you think, how that program's going to progress over the next couple of years.
Well, we're building a really good foundation, I think, with a lot of coaches, and so that helps a lot. I mean, for many years, you know as well as I do, I was kind of the guy, and we had three teams. Well, okay, me and another dad, and we're pretty much doing it. But we've been really fortunate the last 2 or 3 years of getting some really good coaches, that volunteer to help, and that's the big thing, is just getting the volunteers that you need to do that. And Andy, he came around a couple of years ago, and then we got Bob Smith and
Right.
Craig in that came in as well. That's helped us with the freshmen last year and then the juniors this year. And then and then Greg Shipley, he helped a lot with Andy this year and last year. So I think that's really helped overall. And we have another younger coach, Andrew. I'll screw up his name, Wojawoa or something like that. We call him Yoda. It's a whole lot easier for me to say that. But he does a great job in helping, because he's a younger guy. He just graduated from the program about 2 or 3 years ago, and then he's been a big help as well.
What do this is, and I don't think you had some seniors, you had some juniors on that 19 and under squad, didn't you?
Right. We had. I think we had 6 returning guys from college. Either they played in college or they were going to college. Then we had a few seniors, and then the remaining was guys who were sophomore or juniors in high school. So they'll both return quite a few guys back to that. And we have our tryouts this coming Sunday for all of that as well. So that's one of those things. It'll be hopefully we can get a lot of people out and see what happens. And we got 2 really good coaches that we took over our freshman team this year, Brian Tucker and Matt Purcell, and they both did a really good job stepping in and helping out this year to get our freshman program going. They'll probably move up and take that junior team on next year.
Very good.
Things of that sort, but just in time for, we're getting all that ready.
Rick,
next year.
When you and what I saw too, not only were you guys playing your regular schedule, your district schedule and whatnot, but I think you guys jumped in some local tournaments and did a
so
little
our
bit
freshman
of that, right?
team jumped into local tournaments. Our senior team, we usually go to Blue Springs, so we went there. We did well up there. We were 4-1 up there. We lost to Ellsbury. All the teams we lost to, we played in the Ellsbury tournament, lost to Ellsbury. But that so it's kind of one of those things is that you play them a lot. Sometimes
Right.
you get an opportunity, and our boys really played well in the zone, and somehow was able to put some runs together and had a good pitching performance, and was able to beat Ellsbury, who was one of the best teams in the state.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to lose every once in a while. You're
right.
not going to win every game, and so you just keep battling, and hopefully you can. But yeah, and then our junior team went to Springfield, and they played in a tournament down there, and they also played in some local tournament up here in Ellsbury. But we went to Mountain Home, played in a tournament down there, and those teams down there are pretty good. Jeff City was one of the teams we played down there as well. We lost to them in Jeff City as well, or in Mountain Home.
Yeah.
But they're a really good team. So.
Yeah, you guys ran into Gavin Williams
Mm-hmm.
in the semifinals,
Right.
which tough draw there.
Yep.
But I want to give kudos, terrible thing is I'm not remembering his name, Rick. But you had a lefty on the mound
On the Friday night?
on Saturday. It was
okay.
Saturday.
On Saturday. He's a senior this year. He played at Christian, and his name's Cal Jenkins.
Yes.
Okay, and we're planning to have him back next year, because he's age eligible to come back from first year of school from college, so he'll be able to come back.
It was funny. I was talking to some of the. I was sitting over on the side there. We were in the shade because it was hot.
Yeah.
And it was some Jeff City kids, and they were like, "Man, I'm listening to what they're talking about as he's warming up, and all of a sudden, boom, the fastball comes, and it's like, whoosh, the ball just comes. He hides the ball well.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked how he threw, kept off balance. He was really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, he is, and I think he's planning to go to St. Charles Community College.
Yeah. I think you're right.
This is I think where he's scheduled to go to. So, but heck, we had another one that was pitched in the game against who was it? We played on the first night. I forgot. I was at that game and I can't remember.
On Friday night, the first game.
Thursday night.
Thursday night
we played.
Oh my gosh.
Trying to think who we played.
Was it Moberly? No.
No,
because you were in that pool.
Yeah, we played.
Was it St. Charles? Wasn't St. Charles?
No, it was in the opposite.
Pool. Man, I'm trying to remember.
Why is it hard? It was Moberly. Because it was Moberly, Jeff City, and us.
That's right.
So it was Moberly, yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, I couldn't picture that. So that game was like 1-0 in the seventh inning. And then we somehow got a run in the top on some just good base running, and then they won it walk off in the bottom of the seventh. But I mean that was a great game too, and two good pitchers in that game as well. So
and Moberly, their senior kids, you got 6 or 7 of them that are committed.
Yeah.
And going on to play at high level. Community colleges, it's so I that to me, and that's where I think it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward. Talk to us. Did you guys play Festus at all this year?
No, we didn't play.
Didn't
Festus
get to play
this
Festus.
Year. No,
I know you played Jeff City. Did you see the Mule Club at all?
No, we didn't see the Mule Club
because I know they're on that Warrensburg. Yeah. So unless you're in a tournament, it's really kind of
that we're not going to get to. One of the things we just found out when we were in Blue Springs this year is that I guess they're having a world. One of the World Soccer.
Oh, in Kansas City, it's the World Cup next year.
The World Cup's going to be in Kansas City next year, and it's the same weekend as the Blue Springs tournament that we're always in. So they told us that probably only going to do local teams that can drive, because otherwise the hotel rooms are going to be like $800 or $900 a night to stay. I said, well, we can't do that unless we can put all the boys in one room, and they're not going to let us do that. So anyway, we're going to have to find another tournament, to play in that weekend, and I'm thinking that I know Sedalia has a tournament at some point during that time, and I think that Mule Club maybe plays in that sometimes. So we may try to get in a tournament that way on that side, just to kind of see some teams on that side of the state. Is what we try to do.
I think
by going to do that. Yeah,
absolutely. What do you think of Kirkwood? What do you think of their chances?
We played Kirkwood, and it was early in the season, so I mean, it could have been they didn't have all their guys yet, or weren't meshing quite yet, so I'm not exactly sure. I didn't get to see really any of that game, but we played them and beat them pretty good if I remember right. But I don't maybe we tied, or because one of the teams tied. I think that was our junior team that tied with them or something. But
I was texting back and forth with Chris Copeland, who's the coach. He's the director of that program, and. First thing he said was, I finally got all my guys.
And see, that's what I was thinking, is they didn't have everybody yet at the time.
And that makes a huge difference. And sometimes in the summer, especially get late in the summer, I mean, that happens.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Because guys start, on a vacation. I want to go here. I want to do this. Hey, it's hot. I'm injured. There's a lot of
Especially if they just got done with high schools. They may just be. And a lot of times I know with what we've had a problem with a lot with our seniors over the last couple of years is that when they're done, when they graduate, they want to go on a trip So they usually do that like right out of the box.
Right.
So you, for the first couple of weeks, you may not have everybody, like Chris was saying, that, they're probably in that. And then at the end of the season, sometimes if their parents aren't paying attention to the schedule, you lose some of these guys like right at this point in time of the year, and this is the worst time of the year to lose guys.
I think it would be interesting to see. Now, I don't know, because I know it's rules and there's things like that, but I think it would be interesting because you've got all these juniors playing down there, and you can mix and match, and giving some of these juniors maybe an opportunity when you're short on players, if they're like that. Is there a way to do that?
I think one of the things that I know, if you're short players, you definitely can bring them up. Okay, so like if you don't have enough, especially during the regular season. So if you're playing a regular season game and you say you have 4 or 5 guys gone, you can bring guys up from your junior team to play on the senior team, so you're not short that night.
And that gives them experience,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I
so
like that.
So that's one of the things. And I'm just not 100% sure. I know you can do it if people get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It's that point of, well, they're on your roster, why aren't they here? Because Legion also has a rule that if you're signed up to be at playoffs, you should be there. That's one of the rules that you can't play on another team. So if you're playing on another team, you lose all your eligibility with Legion. So at that point in time, and so you have to be done by, I think it was the 16th this month, and then if you couldn't play another game with another team until after your season's over with.
Gotcha.
So
one of the things, Kirkwood coming up from Zone 4, I was surprised. I thought Jackson was going to come out of that.
Mm-hmm.
No offense to Chris or anything like that. Like I said, his guys got it, and they started swinging the bats. They've been swinging the bats well, scoring a lot of runs.
Right.
But the team that, ever since we've started covering American Legion Baseball, working with American Legion Baseball, Festus, 253, they just always seem to be there.
Especially at this time of the year.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, they went to the World Series 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah. It was actually it was 09.
Was it 09?
Was it 09, Lauren? Festus went to last time they went to the World Series, or was it 17?
It was. I thought.
There was a recent one.
Yeah, there was a recent one.
Okay.
I thought. Yeah, and they went, and they because I was trying to watch for them, because how many Missouri teams get to go to that? I mean,
Not very many.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
we've been researching, because in Centennial,
Sure.
and looking at some of those things, and it's been a while.
Yeah.
And it's been Festus has been the team,
yeah,
actually.
right, exactly.
Anybody out there, if you're watching, do you know who the last Missouri team to win the American Legion Baseball World Series?
I have no clue.
Yes, Drew. We know you know. Put it in the comments below.
Festus was 2019.
19.
Festus was 2019?
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
Man. And time flies.
Doesn't seem that long ago,
That
does
doesn't
it?
seem like it was that long ago.
Right?
Man. Okay.
Oh, man.
But yes,
2009. So
Thank you. Oh,
there you
okay.
go.
Gotcha.
They were cheaper.
So, I think, Festus, I'm looking forward to this state championship. I think there's some real powerhouse teams in this. I don't think there's any blowouts happening here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the format?
I liked the format when I first kind of saw it, and I haven't talked to Jason at all.
Yeah.
Jason Howard at all about any of this.
And there's no criticism. It
Yeah,
just,
I looked
I
at
think
when I saw what happened to them, kind of. I'm used to the double elimination.
right.
Okay.
Right.
And so whenever. And so I haven't gotten Jason's opinion on this, so he might be perfectly fine with this, but I'm just telling you my opinion. So,
Right.
So anyway, so I saw that they had not lost, but they beat Pacific the first game, for the freshmen, and so then they won, and then they won all their games up until then. The only game they lost was to Pacific on that Sunday there. Well, that made both teams 3-1 technically in my mind.
Right.
But just because they won
That
the
was
last
the
game,
Yes.
that they win the state championship, and it's like, okay, I get it, and baseball's down to 1, but it's like, how many times do you play in series that are
Right.
best 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 5, 4 out of 7, whatever it may be?
Right.
And that's just that would be a tough way to lose state to me. But I think high school does it that way. So it probably is similar.
Well, the high school now, class 5 and 6, have gone to the best 2 out of 3, right?
Oh, for the last.
yeah.
Okay.
In the quarterfinals. Now the Final Four is still, the 2 semis, and you win or lose, but that's a kind of a different. This one here, I think it's interesting. I think you can try new things.
Yeah, and I
then
like the
see what
format overall
see what
because
happens, right?
because you get down to 4 teams. After Chilean 2, everybody's played 2 games. You get down to 4 teams. I mean, look at another situation is the Ellsbury senior team. I mean, they lost 2 games, okay, but if they would have, and it would have been tough for them, after losing to us that on Friday night, for them to beat Moberly. I think they would have had to beat them by 10.
Yeah, they had to run rule them to advance.
To advance.
Yes.
So that was a lot of pressure, and then you got all good pitching.
Yeah, and then then Coach Hunt runs Jackson Angle out there on you.
Yeah,
good
right.
luck.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing, I understand exactly why Hunt did it, and you run him out there. You get in the final 2, you're going to state, which
right.
I don't mind that. I like
right.
that
I
thought
like
process.
that. Yeah.
It's okay, because especially right now, and I think, Zone 3 is starting to pick up momentum, right? So until that comes back, I like this format and what's going on there, because you have to create some opportunities.
Sure.
But what do you know about Zone 3 and what's going on down there, Rick?
I don't know a whole lot. I haven't been a part of any of the commissioner meetings or any of that kind of stuff. Work schedule kind of makes it tough for me, but at the same point in time, I do try to get with Kent and Jason to kind of get some information from them, and they share a lot of that with me. I mean, we play a lot of them.
Yep.
We go down there every year with our junior and used to be our freshman team. We used to go down there all the time. We always tried to talk to them about coming and bringing their high school teams in, because that's perfectly fine, to do that. So.
And I think I think you're seeing that a little bit more. I know a lot of the teams from that side of the state up in the, West Central, side of the state over there went down, played in some tournaments, played Willard, Nixa, Kickapoo, a lot of the high school. I saw those on their schedules, and I thought it was really interesting. So I think it's just trying to kick the tires maybe a little bit, see what's going on. I know there's a zone commissioner now down there.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, so there's zone commissioner. There's some cool things happening. I think getting Southwest Missouri is huge.
Oh, yeah.
For getting the state balance back, correct?
Oh, I don't disagree with that at all, because there's a lot of good teams down there. I mean, the Willard schools, all the schools down there are always real competitive, and that's the one thing that I've noticed down there. I mean, we used to go down there and they play their freshman team usually was like their incoming freshman down there, and they would beat us or give us good games with our freshman team.
Right.
A lot of times when we go down there, and so they play with a different age group in that. But our junior team went down there and had a lot of good games with those teams down there this year, and it was really I'd love to see it. I mean, because I think you're right. It would bring a lot of balance to the state.
Yeah, that's what honestly, because I think it's picked up the competition. And while we're here too, Prime Sports also. Go to the website, MissouriAmericanLegionBaseball.org. Go to the store. It's from Prime Sports. You can get some gear, right? Some state championship gear. I think they got some stuff up there. Centennial gear is there. You can order Prime Sports. You guys do a great job. They can get it out to you quickly. It's right here. It's local. They do it all in-house. Make sure you go to MissouriAmericanLegionBaseball.org. Go to the team store, get to the and order your Centennial gear. We're right here at Prime Sports in Mexico, talking with Rick Reno of St. Peter's Post 313. We're getting ready for the state championships. You know what's cool this year? I'm excited about this. I reached out to a couple of coaches on that side of the state. Kyle Zimmerman. He's the varsity head coach at Smith Cotton.
Okay.
He has a lot of kids that play Legion baseball over there with his group, and He's going to be coming to the ballpark calling games with us,
Oh, okay.
being part of the broadcast team. And we're also Brandon Boyer, who's the head coach at Moberly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's going to come down and be part of our broadcast team.
Oh,
So
that'd
I'm
be awesome.
excited about
Yeah.
that, getting these high school coaches
Oh, yeah.
involved, talking, and they know a lot of these kids, and I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, that only helps. We get the high school coaches involved. It only helps build, the American Legion program. Because, I mean, and that's one of the things that's just, trying to help do is that, our whole goal all along from a St. Peter standpoint is, my boys, like your boys, went to East, and so we
Right.
try to do a lot of things to try to help their program as much as we can, and they've sent players our ways as well, and we appreciate that, and we're all about trying to help, our schools that are around us here in St. Peter's build their programs, and we just try to do that to help,
Yeah.
and that's our bottom line is we're trying to teach the kids the right way to play ball, the right way to do things, and we have drills for all of that, and we just, always trying to help the high schools as much as we can.
Absolutely. This year too, we're going to be live streaming the Mid-South Regionals. Washington's been
Washington.
hosting those. I'm looking forward to that. Again, reaching out to high school coaches. One of the best coaches around, Coach Struckoff from St. Francis Borgia, will be helping us out, calling some games. I'm looking forward to that. And then head coach at Washington High School,
Oh,
Dane
okay.
Goff. His brother just retired.
Yep,
Yeah, so, Eric Goff, great career at Fort
Yeah.
Zumwalt West.
definitely.
And there's some really good coaches around
Oh
here.
yeah, most definitely.
And getting those guys to come on board and talk about baseball. And Dane's just a personable guy. I really enjoy talking with Dane.
Mhm.
And so he was wanting to come over, and, we're right there. We're going to see 7 teams from 7 different states.
Yep.
And, actually, I think it's 8 teams now because the host team gets one. So,
Yeah.
but it's still 7 different states,
Yep,
including
still 7.
Missouri.
Yeah, because you count Missouri. Yeah.
Exactly. And, one of these teams here that wins this tournament will head to the
Yep, they'll head down there, and I'm going to go down there this year. I went down there last year and watched a couple games,
yeah.
so I'm definitely go down.
So you got to come down and call a game with me,
Oh,
man.
well, I'm just coming down there. I won't know enough of them to know anything about how good somebody is.
we're going to wing it.
Yeah.
We're going to just wing it. That's what we do.
Yeah. No, they're
One of the things
good
that I
guys.
think's cool, though, too, is if you win that regional, they put you on a plane and fly you
Oh,
to
I know. Isn't that
Shelby,
awesome?
North Carolina.
Yeah, and it's paid for by the Allegiant.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I never knew that. I mean, I played
I don't think
baseball.
it's
Nobody
been well
ever told me that.
publicized. I think I found out about it probably about maybe 6 years ago but I have never gotten to that point where I thought we were going there, kind of thing. We were always wanted to. That was a goal, but we until somebody gets close, and I think it was probably about the time Festus went. That's about when I found out that's how they handle that, and it's like that is so cool.
There's one last thing I want to ask you since I got you here. As far talking about program and building the pro, there's a lot made. I'm this person. I believe this. American Legion baseball, and I know some purists, and we'll put it that way, don't like it when you call it club baseball. Personally, it's the oldest club baseball there is. It's an organization. When you have multiple teams within that, sometimes, man, some of these teams have 2 teams at each age group.
Right.
Washington in their freshman, their 15U, they've had 2 teams for quite some time. I don't
Right.
think they did this year.
Yeah, 2 freshmen.
Yeah,
They had
they had 2
this
freshman
year.
teams,
Yeah.
right? So, that's 4 teams. That's a club, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I don't mean to be hurting people's feelings
Right.
or anything like that. That's not my point. But I look at it in this respect because I think people have get a feel and an understanding. 15U, 17U, do you think that, Legion for such a long time has really focused on the 18, 19U kids? Do you think there should be a shift to that 15, 17U, and you showcase the kids at the end? I think that's what this is. I'm looking for this state championship because these are high-level baseball, but all these kids are committed,
Right.
right? And it's just a showcase, and you're playing to try and get to that World Series, which I think that's what you should do. You're playing for an ultimate prize there. You're playing to get to Shelby.
Right.
If you win that bad boy, you get to go to the World Series.
Right.
You know, I think those are some cool things that, you know, as a baseball player, you know, when you're committed and whatnot, you're just playing for the love of the game, and some opportunities like that. You get to play on ESPN
Right.
in Shelby.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So I think those are things that are like a culmination. But the 15 and 17 through 17U, that should be where, you know, you're working to get those kids to that opportunity if they want to be playing at that next level.
Yeah, well, before COVID, they had a regional junior, but they haven't brought it back yet. And I've heard rumors that it was coming back, but I haven't, you know, haven't heard anything positive for something like. But they used, that was as far as you could go then, as a regional tournament. You could, so it was like, I guess, the 8 states that would compete for the regional tournament. But I don't disagree. I think that the focus should be on, if you want to build to having a high level 19U club, you've got to start building before you get to that. And I know that there's been some talk about and within the commission and all that, to try to get some, you know, 12, 13, 14U teams possibly started. It's just really hard to get started, and especially for some of the folks who've been around for a long. I don't have any young kids anymore to know what kids are go to what school,
right,
where they, you know, where working, and maybe that's not something you should think about or worry about. You know, maybe that's been the wrong focus on my part. Maybe you just try to put a team together, and what you do is then you just let the parents know, okay, well, based on where you live, you know, we can stay together for so long, but then I'm going to have to let you go to St. Charles or Wentzville or wherever the case may be once you get to the high school level. But a lot of people, you know, parents get attached to people is what I've learned. And you know, one of the things is that if you have a really good program and you've been in with for a couple of years, you don't want to go somewhere else if you don't have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that makes it tough. It's hard enough for us coaches when we see our guys move on from not playing anymore. I mean, every year when I coached the seniors, I get emotional. I mean, it's just how I am. I get so close to these guys. A lot of them I had since they were freshmen all the way up.
Yeah.
And it really makes it tough.
Get to know the kids.
Exactly. And the families and all of that.
I think this is where, you know, and some of those things, and I think this is where Legion has got to come back to getting those kids back into the programs at the coaching level, at the development level, just even for instruction.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're not necessarily coaching, can you come, you know, help with some hitting instruction? What's your forte? And integrate some of those guys, and maybe at some point when their kids get to a point, they'll start a team that moves them into Legion and things of that nature. I think those are some of the things and aspects that I think maybe have gotten a little lost because, you know, from that point in time, there's a lot of age, in my opinion. I don't mean that in a bad way. It just is in Legion baseball.
Oh, yeah.
On the coaching side.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there has to have that youth come back to it and bringing those kids back there.
And we've been fortunate enough to be able to do that for the last couple of years. We brought, you know, my son Ryan helped me for a while, and so he got married this year, so then we kind of just retired from that. But we've had a younger, like I said, Yoda, he's helped us with our senior and junior team. We had another Alex McCurry who helped us with the freshman, and he wasn't able to this year because of work situation. But we try to bring back some of these guys who have an interest in wanting to stay with the program and help coach or help do whatever they can to help, you know, to help these kids. I mean, a lot of them love to do that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I think if you can get them to come back and do that, you know, I think that helps a lot. I think that helps them have the communication with the kids that are harder for us older guys to maybe have sometimes. You know, they say things that I was like, okay.
I don't even know what that means.
Okay. Yeah. But no, I think that does help to have a good mix.
Absolutely. No, I think it's I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this tournament. Congratulations. You guys had a good year. Another solid year. I know last year all three of your your teams we're above 500.
Just like this year.
I think
Yep.
you were again this
Yep,
year.
That's good.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then it all goes to the hard work our coaches put in and the players. I mean they're all working hard, and we told them at the beginning of the year. Last year everybody was good. People are going to be looking out for you a little bit more this year, so you're going to have to be better.
Yeah,
And
you may get number one here and there.
Yeah.
Whereas you may not have last year.
Right.
You're going to see that this year.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
And that
nobody's
makes a
going to take you lightly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So and then to still have a really good year this year, that just says, yep, we're doing something right.
Absolutely, and I really enjoy it because I hadn't seen you guys play until I had to drive all the way out to Silex to do it. You guys play right over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that terrible?
Yeah. That's crazy.
But I enjoyed watching the kids play. I thought they played really good baseball. Played that Jeff City team very well, and just come up a bit short.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's. I wasn't able to make it there, but I was watching Game Changer whenever I could get an update because it's sitting there, thinking out there, and there wasn't a whole lot of communications satellites going on out there.
No, the links are.
The link was real. I was really getting a slow communication. I was really getting worried at one point. It said the game's delayed, so I looked at the weather. Is it raining? No, it was just Game Changer.
Just trying to get to the link, man.
Yeah.
We can't. We don't know.
I almost called the coach and say, "What's the score?" So.
Yeah, because it was 0-0. They were throwing up zeros. I think it got to the fifth inning, and finally Jeff City broke through. But both pitchers were really good, and when you're putting up numbers like that, hey,
yeah,
it was a fun game to watch.
Yep,
it really was.
Definitely was.
So,
yep.
Rick Reno, folks. Rick, it's good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah. Just thought I'd stop in and see all the excitement.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but hey, we do what we can.
Yeah.
We do what we can.
Yeah.
But folks, I want to thank you for tuning in. As always, we've got the schedule coming up. 3:00, we're going to be there at Liberty Park. We're going to do our first of 2 preview shows. On Thursday afternoon, we're going to preview the teams there. The first game is at 5:00. Sedalia will be taking on Kirkwood, and then Festus and Jeff City in the nightcap. Looking forward to those. We'll preview those teams on Thursday with Coach Zimmerman and Coach Boyer. On Friday, again, we'll be back at 3:00 with another preview show. We got Sedalia at 5:00 taking on Moberly, and then Festus and the Mule Club at the nightcap. And we'll be previewing the teams that we missed on Friday. And then Saturday, all day. What's up, Drew?
All games are available on the channel. At the top, there's a playlist, and they can click to be notified.
Yeah, what Drew said. You probably didn't hear that. It's live. Go to the channel. You'll be able to see it. We got a playlist up. Drew's got it all hooked up for you. Youth Baseball Midwest. It's free. Don't have to pay to watch it. That's what's cool. We hope you enjoy it. We've always had a great turnout. A lot of people. We get great viewership with Legion Baseball. Folks and fans are interested, so we're thankful for that. We're grateful for that, and looking forward to it because we've got the next 3 weeks with the state championships, Mid-South, and then we finish off with the
Regional?
the All-Star game.
Oh, okay.
At GCS Ballpark. We're legioning out the season.
Gotcha.
It's all Legion all the time right here on Youth Baseball Midwest. That's what we got for you, folks. So, again, good to see you, Rick.
Yeah, you too. Good to see you. Take
Folks,
care.
thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Everybody, if you like what we're doing, take a moment. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the dinger next to it. It's not a home run, but it is notifications for upcoming episodes just like this. And for more episodes when we go live or we go do a show, you'll get that dinger. So we appreciate it. Support us. Everybody have a great day in the Lord. All you pitchers, keep throwing strikes. And hitters, it's easy. Hit them where they ain't.
Yep.
We'll see y'all next time.